Welcome back. WildStar Week 4. Before we get into that, I thought I'd start off with an amusing bug. My main tune, when I log in initially, almost never has full gear on. She's always partially dressed. Only that one, though. The other ones seem to, will have clothes on. The Exile is always dressed, but mine, almost never. Okay, I want to clarify some things because people ask questions because they couldn't visualize what I was talking about. So this is the commodities area where you sell goods that are not like gear and weapons and whatnot. And as you can see here, that error that I got, because I don't know how many are available to sell. As you can see, the interface does not tell you anywhere, so it's like a mini game. A lot of the things in the game are a mini game within the game. For example, crafting has like a little mini game to it, which some find tedious and then others find, I wouldn't say amusing, entertaining. But with this, you sort of have to fiddle around with the numbers to figure out what the sell orders are for. Where it would seem very simple to just put the number there so I'd know. Then you also have this box that pops up that you really can't get rid of without everything closing down. Clicking on the X does not do anything. It's just a graphic to let you know that the sale isn't going through. So if you have a lot of things to sell, this gets tedious. Another one about the spam thing. You can see here that this is spam. And the nice thing is that I could access this to see what it was. And they sent me an attachment. But as you can see, when I took the attachment, I could no longer report the spam. I don't know why. I don't even understand the thinking behind that. But there it is. So, of course, that's the workaround. But what does shine about WildStar is the combat. And once you've played WildStar for a while, and then you go play another game, you find yourself double tapping and shifting and moving, and you realize how different the combat is. The only problem is that at this point in time, wow, how do you get out of that? Wild Carbine is making many fixes, and they did add the strain, which was their first content patch, and they added it within the first 30 days. There are still a lot of bugs with this game. It is still very buggy. Let's check into some of those bugs. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Well, these are some words from people that were on the forums talking about it. So here's the first one. The constant, not the occasional, crash related to the memory stability problems are still prevalent. In fact, I would say that they may actually be worse, as I just crashed running through an area, and the next 5 times I attempted to log back in, I immediately crashed again. On the next step, this is absolutely game breaking. These issues have been problems since the Head Start launch, and at minimum and likely since back to the winter beta or earlier, which is very, very true. Now, these are responses to the very last patch they put in, which was the strain. So let's look at another one that was... okay. I'm a member of the housing community on Caretaker. I pride myself in offering a public house almost entirely filled with challenges. Almost every time I log in, there would be someone trying to climb the spire or get the last crystal in the whirlwind. After dozens of times doing challenges, you're bound to get a few repeats. It's all up to that random generator. But if you ended up with your 10th crowded graves, you didn't feel like it was a wasted endeavor. Instead, you went over to the vendor and got a gold for your trouble. Now you've removed that by making the item level 1. It isn't fully written, there, but the same decor that you could vendor for a gold now goes for a silver or a few silver if you're lucky. Nobody wants to keep redoing the same challenges when, if they end up on a decor item that they already have, it's a complete waste of their time. There's also class problems. The stalker. Are, nah, here we go. I am done being broken over and over again. We are such a weak class compared to most other classes, yet we keep getting hit by the ugly stick and the nerf bat. What does Carbine and the devs have against us? None of the changes get reviewed and looked at while in PTR when we make comments before it goes out to live. I don't even have a reason to log in and play right now. Maybe to try the new area and get some elder points. But what is the point? With this threat reduction, we can't tank vet dungeons anymore. Why should I continue my attunement for raids? They won't want to bring a stalker tank if I can't even hold aggro. I know I sound like a broken record right now because there are tons of complaints about this. And I kept my mouth shut for the longest time because I usually let the game go where the devs want to take it. But there's nowhere left to go for this class. Why not just remove it and give people the option of switching to another class? What they did is they implemented this patch a hold to continue casting system, and on top of all of the other issues, it's just broken. It's just broken. And then there's performance issues that were fixed. Well, for me, they seemed like they improved, and then they did a hot patch and it got worse. Then it improved and then it got worse. But here's an example, just for the record, beyond all the balancing you're doing to the game that has been in development for like 5 years, you may want to consider skipping the fixing quests and adjustments to adjust that you're just going to revert the next month and address the performance issue. The game runs like shat, his word not mine, and SLI Surround, X-Fire, Affinity, which pro tip most enthusiasts that play MMORPGs use. In short, having a 10 grand computer and getting crap performance in the game you've waited years for is miserable and will cost your business. When I said that I was low on gear, I'm showing you on level, I'm showing you what I have. But you could see that for my class, I was able to still kill efficiently. You just saw that. It wasn't hard by any means, but not all classes have this survivability. And when you go to the auction house, as you can see, I'm going to put in the level that I want, and I am DPS medic. So I want tech stat. And you're going to see how I come up. There's like nothing. And this wouldn't bother me. And it probably wouldn't bother most players if the game was like just about every other game and you could get gear that is matched for your class and spec. What I've shown in previous videos is that I get gear and I can't use it. So not it only, and then if the gold is like, the reward is like nothing. So that's what can be frustrating in this game. And it really needs to be attuned more. There are some people that are having, serious problems with gear. And it's something that, in my opinion, if the quest is giving out gear, it should give you gear for your class and spec every once in a while. I don't think that's asking too much. And this is not a game-breaking thing, but it's one of these things. Okay, you can see my characters they're dressed now. So I'm going to log into the game. But when I exit the game, I have to click, 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 click. When you go to leave the game, the same, whether you hit exit or switch characters, you come back to the character screen. You cannot just shut this game down through those buttons. And it's like, again, why can't you do that? So at this point, what is my recommendation? Well, you've heard of the saying, knowledge is power. There was a scene in Game of Thrones where the queen lady, I forget her name, um, asserted her power, and she said that the guy she was talking to when he threatened her said knowledge is power, and she said power is power. That's not true either. The truth of the matter is that knowledge is power if and only if the person who has the knowledge has the wisdom to be able to use that knowledge efficiently and effectively. And I tell my kids this all the time. And a perfect example to that is, you know that there's a test. If you opt not to take that, you opt not to study for the test, you had the knowledge that the test was going to be taken. So having the knowledge is not necessarily, the end all to making the right decision or the best decision for that particular situation for that particular person. So where am I going with that? I am giving you the knowledge that this game is broken. It is not, if you're one that expects, you don't expect perfection, but when you start adding up this and that and this and that and this and that, it starts to add up to a snowball effect for some people. And if you haven't already purchased the game, you don't know if you're going to experience the performance issue, and you don't know to what level you will experience the performance issue. And while I think that it's great that they kept their word and they added the new content doesn't matter if you can't, your performance sucks. So I recommend not writing the game off, but I recommend waiting to play it if you haven't already bought it. And I recommend, if you are frustrated right now, do not sub. Do not fund them until the game is fixed to a level that you are satisfied with. Because in the end, this is about you and your enjoyment. In any other circumstance, outside of gaming, where can you buy something, it's broken, and then it's, oh, you should be sympathetic and understand that they need time to fix this. If your dishwasher is broken and you hire somebody to fix it, and you bought it with the expectation that it was supposed to function, and it's still broke, do you say, oh, I understand? Tell me, in what area is that? Here's an even simpler example. Have you ever bought something, and we'll go super cheap, McDonald's, and you ordered a hamburger with no cheese, or whatever it is, and you didn't get what you wanted, so you took your butt right back in there and said, you know what? Not only are you going to fix my order, you're going to give me a free coupon for a next meal. How many people have done that? But yet and still with this game, oh, you should be patient. No. And I'm not saying that Carbine is a bad company. It's not. It's probably something in between Carbine and NCSoft that these pushes keep coming out before they're ready. But that doesn't change the fact that they are coming out before they're ready. So I don't think it's the gamer's responsibility to fund a game that's not ready anymore. And I think that it's okay for a gamer to say, you know what? I'll wait. Because on a long-term game, does it really matter if you were there in the 3rd month or the 5th month? No, it really doesn't. Particularly if it's going to frustrate you. So that's my recommendation. I think WildStar eventually will be the hotness. But right now, I think they need to fix it. And there are a lot of people that think this game is the bomb, and they're having a blast, and that's wonderful. I totally respect that, and I'm glad that those people are having a good time. Woo! For them. But I feel that those people that are having fun ought to respect the fact that there are people that are not having fun because of issues that have been in the game since before launch, months before launch. The signs are there when something is broken. In my particular instance, I played in beta. I knew it was broken. Knowledge is power. If and only if the person that has the power has the wisdom to use it efficiently and effectively for that particular situation. I logged into the game because I wanted to report on it, because this is the first time that a AAA game like this has been released in a long time. Probably another one like this, and there is a ton to do in the game. Won't be released like this for a long time. But I made up my mind, if these things aren't fixed in 30 days, I'm not going to sub. I'll just wait. What I want you guys to do is just to make an informed decision and realize it's okay to hop to the next game if that's what you want to do. So that's it for me. I will revisit WildStar. But for right now, I'm going to wait and give them the time to fix the issues. That's what I suggest people do. If you decide to jump into the game and you get frustrated, you can't play, it's on you. Remember what I said about knowledge. So that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, liking the videos, and sharing them. I cannot do this without you. And I am really blessed to have such interactive viewers that support what I do. Links are in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next one.